The drink you spilled all over me, lover's spit left on repeat. My mom and dad let me stay home. It drives you crazy getting old. We can talk it so good, we can make it so divine. We can talk it good, how you wish it would be all the time. The drink you spilled all over me, lover's been left on repeat. My mom and dad let me stay home, it drives you crazy getting old. The drink you spilled all over me, lover's been left on repeat. My mom and dad let me stay home, it drives you crazy getting old.
Isn't the sea. Through the midnight winds, and I never felt more alone.
It feels so scary getting old. you'll find beyond the time. This dream isn't feeling sweet, we're reeling through the midnight streets, and I've never felt more alone. Feels so scary getting home. This dream isn't feeling sweet, we're reeling through the midnight streets, and I've never felt more alone. Feels so scary getting home. Sharing beds like little kids, laughing till our bits get tough. That will never be enough. You're the only friend I need. Sharing beds like little kids, laughing till our bits get tough. That will never be enough. You're the only friend I need. Sharing beds like little kids, laughing till our bits get tough. That will never be enough. 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 That will never be enough.
This is indeed a day to celebrate. Let us then rejoice in it and be glad, and let us count our many blessings. Let us be grateful for the capacity to see, hear, feel, and understand. Let us be especially grateful for the incredible gift of life that binds us together. But let us be especially grateful for the ties of love which bind us together, giving dignity, meaning, worth, and joy to all of our days. Please join me in our covenant. Love is the spirit of this church, and service is its law. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another. Today, the world changes so quickly that in growing up, we take leave not just of youth, but of the world that we grew up in. Fear and resentment of what is new is really lame.
Welcome and good morning. My name is Megan Rockles, and on behalf of the Youth Department, I would like to officially welcome you to Youth Sunday. Today, the youth will provide music and a spiritual message for this very special service. There's a lot going on this afternoon and this week. Please check your order of service for announcement details. But for today, you don't want to miss the All Souls Spring Art Market today from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. in Emerson Hall, where you'll find handmade, homemade arts and crafts for sale from vendors from this very community. Proceeds benefit the All Souls Youth Department. Also this afternoon, Holding Grief Support Group meets at 1 p.m. In this program, we explore grief and loss through personal sharings, support, and education about the grief process. Much more great things are going on. Check out the insert in your order of service for more information. Thank you and enjoy Youth Sunday.
Good morning. To Live Deliberately by Henry David Thoreau. I went to the woods because I wished to live deliberately, to front only the essential facts of life and see if I could not learn what it had to teach, and not, when I came to die, discover that I had not lived. I did not wish to live what was not life. Living is so dear. Nor did I wish to practice resignation, unless it was quite necessary. I wanted to live deep and suck out all the marrow of life, to live so sturdily and Spartan-like as to put to rout all that was not life, to cut a broad swath and shave close, to drive life into a corner and reduce it to its lowest terms.
We acknowledge that life is never static, and that change is one of the only permanent things with which we live. We feel thankful that we do not have to traverse this path of life alone. We're grateful for being a part of this community, a place to share our life's transitions, both joyful and painful. Before Caitlin offers meditation, I'd like to name some of these transitions. We hold a space for Susie Ewing in honor of her 80th birthday. We hold a space for Claudia Arthur in memory of Dan Arthwell, what would have been his and Claudia's 50th wedding anniversary. We hold a space in memory of Bill Arthwell and what would have been his 75th birthday. We hold a space for Kathy Wilson on the loss of her mother, Judith Griner, who died yesterday.
All Our Relations by Gary Kowalski. Our time is short here on the earth. Around us swirls immensities of time and space, a universe infinite in all directions. How small our hopes and cares seem amid the panorama of creation. Yet we are not separate from the cosmos, but have evolved and grown out of it. Like the leaves of a tree or the waves upon a sea, and our thoughts are its thoughts. Our lives a manifestation of a never-ending vitality. Our spirits a microcosm of beauty and creativity of the whole. Fill us then with reverence and compassion for all who are our kin. Cloud and sun, sibling and cousin, the magnitude of beginnings, who share this improbable and never to be repeated moment. All expressions like ourselves of the mind at large, the spirit at play, the dynamism of at work, in who we will live and move, and whom we will never know.
Slow down, you crazy child. So ambitious, Lord, do not let yourself smart. Tell me why you're still so afraid. Where's the fire? What's the hurry about? You better cool it off before you run it out. Got so much to do, don't be so many hours in a day. Hey, do not let the truth is told that you can get much more, so you can just get over. Get out before you even get halfway through. Why don't you realize the end awaits for you? Slow down, you can find you can't be everything you wanna be before your time. Although it's so romantic on the borderline tonight. Right.
and this is my senior sermon. I'm weird. I've always been weird, and I will always be weird. This church and my parents have taught me that I'm weird, and that they are weird, and that's just how things work. It wasn't until I was about 9 or 10 years old that I realized that being weird wasn't typically considered to be a good thing, and that the word weird was more commonly used as an insult. I was on the playground during recess in 4th or 5th grade, and I was running up to my best friend in the whole world, Gabby, and I did this sort of jump stop. I ran towards her, and instead of just stopping like a normal person, my weirdo self kind of jumped into place. So I jumped into place in front of her and said, "Do you want to go play?" And the boy next to her looks at me and he says, "You're weird." And I was crushed because no one had ever said it to me like that before. I mean, it wasn't like I hadn't been told I was weird before. My mother would tell me I was weird at least once every day. But she said it like this: "You're weird." She said it in a way that made it feel like she was actually saying, "I love you." I've known who I am for a very long time. I know what I like and what I don't like, what foods I enjoy and what I like to wear. My dad has taught me how to cook and bake. He's shown me all the best movies and the best music. My mom has taught me how to understand the inner workings of the complicated and terrifying jumble that is my own mind. I know what I believe in and what my values and morals are, and it's all because of you, this church, these people. I want to study religion and history in college because of my mother, and I want to study politics because I want to fix things. And I know that that may sound naive to many of you. I want to become a politician and save the world, but it's the truth. And it's been my plan for a very long time, and it still is. I want to do something, help people, fix things, share a little bit of my luck with the rest of the world. I won the family lottery growing up with the parents that I have and with the grandparents that I have and the church that I have. And I know a lot of people say that they have the best parents or the best family, but with me, I objectively have the greatest parents ever. They taught me everything I needed to know about life and informed me of all of the potential consequences of my actions. So now I literally have no way to rebel because I wouldn't ever do anything that they also wouldn't do. My mom has been my best friend my whole life, and I know my dad will always be there for me no matter what I need. I know I'm lucky, and I want to share my fortune with the rest of the world, give other people a taste of what I've had my whole life. Most people spend their entire lives trying to figure out who they are, and a lot of people never even get far enough as to ask the question. And again, maybe it's a little naive of me to say, but I think I figured it out. I think I'm done. Now I'm finishing high school and going off to college in Appleton, Wisconsin. Yes, Wisconsin. I found a place that I think is perfect for me. There's a little more than 1,000 students, so I'm not going to drown. Student to faculty ratio is 8-to-1. The classes are small and intimate. I won't be one of hundreds of faces in a lecture hall that the professor doesn't even know the name of. I'll get to take immersive religion classes and talk about culture and history, and I won't have to take calculus. But most importantly, I can see myself there. When I looked at their website and when I visited the campus, I could actually see myself living in one of the co-ed dorms with a roommate that I haven't met yet, but I'm sure will be amazing. And honestly, I feel so prepared. I visited the campus, met some of the students, went to a mock first-year studies class, saw the residence halls and the lawn where I'm going to graduate in 4 years. And for those of you wondering, my grandparents, I have no idea what career I may enter, and I feel okay about that. The career services at Lawrence are with you from day one, and I have no doubt that by the time I'm done with college, I'll know exactly what my next step is. And also, I'm not all that worried about being far from home either. My best friend, who I mentioned earlier, and my little sister both moved to different states, and I honestly don't think my relationships with them have changed much. Gabby is still my best friend, my parabatai, and nothing is going to change that. Audrey is and forever will be my little sister, even though she now lives in Normal, Illinois, and hey, Appleton's only 4 hours away. And frankly, although Appleton is 852 miles north of here,
it doesn't feel like a change. Maybe it just hasn't hit me yet, but it doesn't feel like I'm leaving. This isn't some long and arduous journey I'll be leaving on where I won't have any contact with any of my family for 4 years and I'll come back a totally different person. I'll only actually be gone for less than 30 weeks a year, leaving 22 weeks where I'll be back here. That's 40%. Yes, I did the math. I told you I was weird. 40% of the year that I'll be home with my family and with you. And honestly, I don't think I'm gonna change all that much. I'll be smarter for sure and maybe a little bit wiser, but like I said, I already know who I am. I am me because of you, and that will always stay the same. Distance is not going to ruin relationships that are gonna last. If the pandemic gave us nothing else, it taught us ways to stay in touch despite our isolation. I've learned so many different ways to spend time with other people and connect without having to be physically near one another. There's FaceTime, Skype, Zoom, texting, phone calls, Discord, there's online games, and no matter what, you can always send your mother funny penguin videos. I acknowledge that the suggestion that I'm done completely juxtaposes the entire theme of this year's Youth Sunday, work in progress. Of course, I know that I will continue to evolve and grow, improve the me that is already finished. I used to hate it when people would say that the only constant in the world is change, and I still do. But I've finally accepted that that is true. The only thing that will never change is the fact that everything changes. But I've also realized that this next statement is equally as true. The more things change, the more they stay the same. But I'm weird like that, and so are you. You're weird.
Where we are, I don't know where we are, but it will be okay. Where we are, I don't know where we are, but it will be okay. Lay it on a table like I wasn't even there. Hold it on a steering wheel, coming in the rain. What was that? Driving in the rain. What was that? Calling out your name. Staring at the ceiling fan, feeling far away. Leaning on the breeze like it wasn't even there. What was that? Driving in the rain. What was that? Calling out your name.
Hello. My name is Megan Rockholz, and this is my senior sermon. Every time I've seen you Sunday, I've always been so in awe of the sermon, all the confident and amazing singers up here. I would sometimes imagine myself up here, singing at this
All-powerful podium. Now I'm here, and I still actually can't believe it. My childhood has really passed by, but I'm glad I spent so much of it here at All Souls. It's making me all nostalgic, and I want to tell you all my most favorite memories here. So let's start with how I got here. After my family moved to Tulsa from California, my mom wanted a religious community to be a part of, and she found one that was near our old house. It was a Baptist church in South Tulsa. I have vague memories of it, but the reason we left was because one day when my parents had asked how my brother's day at Sunday school was, he told them his newfound wisdom about how being gay would send you straight to hell. I'm glad my mom found All Souls before I had to learn that. My family loves All Souls. Like, my dad's not even religious, and he loves this church. I used to run through these halls with my mom trailing behind me, and I would demand her to hurry up and sign me in so I could go to Channing Day School and play with whoever would play with me and whatever was in arm's reach. The daddy-daughter dances, Halloween parties, and tree trimming parties have always been a core memory that I think of when the holidays come around. And I can't forget how I've been in the choir for as long as I could sing the ABCs, David. I've grown up with such great influences that it feels like All Souls has sculpted me into such a mature young woman. I couldn't have asked for a better church to grow up and be a part of. I remember my coming of age credo. I had made it all about fairy tales and that life is full of such wonderful and magical things, and that I was cursed by a witch to not believe in the big man upstairs. But that's still the case, but that was really before all the scary parts of my fairy tale was about to be written. The climax of that story was the big bad divorce, and it really huffed and puffed and blew my life down. Even though it was a huge impact in my life, I think I'm going through it pretty well. None of my parents are the troll under the bridge, and they're the king and queen of my land and my life, and I'm the princess. But that's enough the fairy tale talk. I'm an adult now. Woo! Still weird to say that. Something you need to know about me is that I've always been the type of person where if something that I need or has to be done, I need to do it by myself, on my own terms, and if someone tries to help me, I'll say, I'm fine, or I've got this, or hey, just back off. But believe me, now I may have finally understood that we always need somebody and that it can make us stronger than what we give ourselves credit for. I remember when I got a friendship bracelet maker for my birthday one year, and when my mom yelled from upstairs to my room if I needed help with the instructions, which I didn't read and threw to the side, never to be seen again. I don't even know if I could read by then. And I remember replying with, no, I do. And I wasn't able to make a friendship bracelet until Girl Scout camp a couple years later. My mom still jokes about me saying, I do, in that exact voice, and always talking about how I was so independent at such a young age. And that's still the case. I'm still very independent. But that's not how humans were made. We're social creatures. With the pandemic, we lost a part of our lives, and now we're finally getting it back. I'm loving the normal feeling of life returning. Traveling, school, friends. Finally feels like my life might be coming back to normal. But then there's college. I don't know what that has in store for me, but I'm ready for it. College will be long and hard since I'm wanting to go for a doctorate in pharmacy. I'll be starting at TCC next summer, and I'll be there for the next 2 years, then transferring to a university, probably OU, to finish out the degree. I'm a little nervous about it, but I know I can set my mind to do anything. I'd like to quote my brother, and when I say quote, I mean steal his joke. Should have been here earlier when he was in the service. He was yelling at me. I want to quote him on what he said during his credo and senior sermon. During his credo, he said, "I think that a drunk man saw Jesus standing on a boat and claimed that he was walking on water," which I think is the best way you can understand what kind of guy my brother is. And if that doesn't sound like a guy who's wanting to be an engineer, then just wait till you hear what he said during his senior sermon. This is going to be word for word. Is it morally okay to like cold pizza? If you're wondering, my opinion on the matter of cold pizza is I believe that pizza should be served warm. And the idea of eating cold pizza is an American concoction that we didn't need to mess with. Most Americans have a microwave. Use it. Again, that was word for word. And if that doesn't change your opinion about him, good or bad, I don't know what will. And yes, I fully agree with him. We were raised right. Thanks, Mom and Dad. On the topic of family, I love both my parents very much. They have always been there during the most important parts of my life, all my highs and lows, all my music performances, all my academic achievements, all the sports I've done, and meeting all my boyfriends. He's right there. You know, all the important things to a girl growing up. No matter what obstacles I go through in adulthood, I know that they'll always be there for me. And I'll always be there for them. Thank you.
My name is Locke Edwards, and this is my senior sermon. So the theme for this Sunday was work in progress, and for me, I feel like this video I'm about to show you perfectly represents just that. Over the past few years, scootering has been not only an incredible physical and creative outlet for me, but also a way to build community that really feels like a second family. During the height of the pandemic, online schooling and the isolation that comes with that really took a toll on me. And the only thing that really kept me sane was going out and riding my scooter. With how much the sport and the friends I've met through it meant to me, I decided to get more serious about documenting it. When I started, I barely knew how to film, so getting the angles to look right and understanding the camera was definitely a work in progress. Not to mention, I had no idea how long this would take to complete, so I temporarily titled it Hard Hat because it was under construction. But by the time I was wrapping up filming and editing the video, I felt like the name actually fit really well. You may notice I'm not in the video much, but I'm behind the lens of every clip, which is kind of where I like to be because it gives me a chance to show other people the things the way I see them. And the video, the frame rate got messed up on it, but it'll be all right. You can see it, so yeah.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Break out the waves! Get back! Just like that! No reason to calm down!
We need a little bit of help for this next song. The words will be projected up there to the chorus. I need you to sing along to the chorus. The words are also in your order of service, but they will be projected on the screen. I will sing it the first time. You don't have to sing along the first time. You can hear it once first, but then for the rest of the song, I need you guys to be just as lively as we are being up here. Yeah! That's the choir back here helping to lead and guide you. But, okay.
Untold story, running over the blaze of glory. I can't hear you, I don't hear you. I'm in now as the band dies, dodging bullets with your broken past. Well, I can't hear you, I don't feel you now. Wrapped in your regret, what a waste of blood and sweat. Oh, I wanna taste love and pain, wanna feel pride and shame. I don't wanna take my time, don't wanna waste one line. I wanna live better days, never look back and say, could have been me, could have been me, yeah. Don't wanna leave you. Silence, tell me I can't hear you. I won't hear you. Don't wanna wake up on a Monday morning, not work is getting my skin crawling. I can't hear you. I won't feel you now. Wrapped in your regret, what a waste of blood and sweat. Oh, I wanna taste love and pain, wanna feel pride and shame. Don't wanna take my time, don't wanna waste my life. Wanna live better days, never look back and say, could have been better, could have been better. Wanna taste love and pain, wanna feel pride and shame. Don't wanna take my time, don't wanna waste one life. Wanna live better days, just better. I can say, could have been better, could have been better, could have been better, could have been better. I wanna taste love and pain, wanna feel pride and shame. Don't wanna take my time, don't wanna waste one life. Wanna live better days, just better. I can say, could have been better, could have been better, could have been
Today's offering goes to the All Souls Youth Scholarship Fund, which gives scholarships to youths at All Souls. Please give generously.
when the sun comes shining through. To make those rainbows in my heart, that I think of you sometime. I would spend some time with you. Just the two of us. We can make it if we try. Just the two of us. Just the two of us. Just the two of us. Doing the counting of high. Just the two of us. You and I. We love the love and tell the tears. Wasting arms, all that is. It don't make no flowers grow. Good things might come to those who wait, not to those who wait too late. We gotta go for all we know. Just the two of us. We can make it if we try. Just the two of us. Just the two of us. Building big castles way on high. Just the two of us. You and I. I hear the crystal raindrops falling on the wind down the hall, and it becomes the morning dew. And darling, when the morning comes and I see the morning sun, I wanna be the one with you. Just the two of us. Just the three of us. Just the three of us. You and I.
May your eyes see beauty, may your lips speak truth, may your heart know love, and may your hands do the good works of this world all the days of your life. Go and be blessed and be a blessing.
the other side. We can beat them forever and ever. We can be heroes just for one day. Just for one day, we can be heroes. We can be heroes. We can be heroes. Just for one day. We can be heroes. We can be heroes. We can be heroes. We can be heroes. Just for one day.